First Superman and now Batman, XM Studios is doing it, man. They're tackling legacy characters in their classic form. What's up, Geminites and Geminettes? It's your boy GemMint, gonna react to the 1/4 and 1/6 scale Batman statue by XM Studios. They just dropped the reveal and the pre-order on Batman Day, September 17th. It's a couple days late, but what are you gonna do? We're gonna take a look at the pictures together, and I'm gonna give you my thoughts on this piece. Now, they did work in collaboration with comic book artist Mark Brooks for the concept and design on this guy. Now, I had to search and see how many Batman images there were for Mark Brooks, because when I think of Mark Brooks, I think of like X-Men and Marvel books, but yeah, he did do a lot of Batman stuff. So I'm digging it. I like seeing these statue companies work with comic book artists. Prime One Studio has been doing it a lot as well. So let's take a look at it. Before we do though, make sure you subscribe to the channel, hit the like button if you enjoy the content, hit the notification bell so you don't miss one, and let's jump into it. So first thing I noticed is the price. It is a little bit on the high end, 1,259 Singapore dollars, but that translates to just about $900 USD, so a little bit on the higher end with the low edition size though. 499 is the max. It's basically gonna be made to order, so however many pre-orders there are, if there's only 300 pre-orders, that's gonna be the edition size. So this is quarter scale, and this is only licensed for Southeast Asia and some of those territories. This does not look like it will be a worldwide license for the quarter scale version. We'll look at the 1/6 scale version next. But enough of that, let's take a look at these pictures. So starting with the first one, not much to see here. I mean, it has that classic modern DC type of costume, almost like that Greg Capullo Batman New 52 costume. Okay, so far so good. Here he is standing next to one of the XM Studios guys, and we have the dimensions. So 59 centimeters tall, which is just a little bit over 23 inches. So typical quarter scale. Its depth is 47 centimeters, so that's about 18.5 inches deep. And lastly, 60 centimeters with its width. So it's kind of a wide statue here, probably because of the cape and everything. So 23.5 inches for the width. My first thoughts are the costume looks good. It looks well done and executed. The base is throwing me off, man. What is this base? This is not a Batman base, man. This looks like an X-Men versus Sentinel statue base almost. Next picture gives us a small explosion, you know, whatever. It is what it is. Got some nice coloring there, a little bit of a contrast. We get a close-up on the belt, the utility belt, very important to Batman's lore. Got a leather brown belt. Don't know if I really love that, but could be comic accurate, I'm not really sure. Those nice big yellow pouches, has great detail. Whether it's the sculpt or the paint, XM Studios has high detail, so that looks good. And I'm noticing the different textures on the costume here. On the black part has a leather-like texture. You kind of have a different type of texture on the gray, and you can see the muscle detail, and he's contorting his body, so it's not like a clean set of abs here. It kind of, you know, gives you the realism that he's actually twisting his torso. You have seams and such in the costume as well. Next picture shows a batarang going into the mechanical thing that he's standing on top of, and then we have a picture here from the back. I like the cape. I think the cape has a good flow to it. The movement looks good. XM is like one of the only companies giving us quarter scale statues with sculpted capes. It's got a nice smooth type of texture on the inside, but a leather-like rough texture on the outside. The seams giving you those classic lines in the Batman cape going to the pointy bottom. Pretty typical Captain Morgan pose. He does have a grappling hook in his right hand. Again, he's on some kind of tank of a base. Here's his left hand. Great texture, the folds in the sculpt. You can see the gauntlet with the spikes there and the texture. Here's another picture giving it more of a downward look. So this looks like a piece that could display well low, which is pretty interesting. I like the movement on the cape though. So far, I'm digging the mask and cowl. Here's a little bit more of a close-up on that. Whited out eyes, that's a plus. That's what I like out of these types of costumes. I'm not sure I really like the difference in texture from the cape and the cowl. That's kind of throwing me off just a little bit there, but I do like the wrinkles in the forehead as he's holding a batarang now, so that's a switch out option, which he's getting ready to throw at an enemy. Another downward kind of pose, and right away I'm feeling like it's a little lackluster. I mean, this is the classic Batman. It's not giving me classic Batman vibes. It's just kind of like a regular plain piece to me. The skin tone on that face looks pretty good. I'm sure we'll get a close-up of that. I think this is its best look, straight on forward. He's looking outward, ready to either throw a grappling hook or throw his batarang, so I kind of like how his left hand position gives you the option for both. I do like the big bat emblem on the chest there. Here's a little picture from like the back angle. I don't really dig that. Kind of a more of a close-up on the portrait again. Nice picture with the lighting here. That looks pretty slick with the blue lighting. Okay, so there is another left arm switch out. It is another, I guess, type of grappling hook, but a grappling gun. Little bat logo. You have a nice texture on the handle where the screws are. Nice coloring there. And then that right fist looks like you might have a closed fist option here, so you don't have anything in his hands. Here's the back of the base. I mean, they do metal and weathering really well. I just don't feel like Batman when I see this base. And I mean, how many gargoyle bases can we have? But still, I mean, if this is the classic version, give me a classic Batman pose. I don't know what he's standing on. Another picture next to the XM Studios guy without the dimensions, just showing you the size. Big piece. You know, it was kind of hard on the Superman piece. I'm being kind of hard on this one, but I mean, I feel like they'll have a lot of presence in person, especially these quarter scale ones. So here goes the right hand with a batarang. Same pose, different angle. Here is the base. Again, I just feel like my problem with XM Studios X-Men line was like, it's on these kind of construction site bases. Like, what am I even looking at here? Just tubes and metal, and like, I don't know what it is. Here's a look at the boot. You know, the design is good, the texturing is good, the fold in the fabric is good. I think it's one of those things where it's well executed as far as like Batman, but it's just not anything special, and the base doesn't really go with it, I don't think. So like I said, Mark Brooks on the 2D design, Juan Noveletto on the 3D sculpt. So give a shout out to the artist there. And then when you go to the classic 1/6 scale, so it's 809 Singapore dollars, which is $575 for a 1/6 scale piece. Same low edition size though, it's made to order with a max of $499. I don't think you're gonna get a quarter scale or 1/6 scale Batman with that low of an edition size. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. And it does have a worldwide license for the 1/6 scale, so that's a difference there. Now this one comes with the same amount of switch outs, so it's not like Superman where there's like a bonus version or a deluxe version. You have the 3 left arm switch outs, the 2 right arm switch outs, and both only have 1 portrait. I guess what can you have done besides maybe a different expression or so? But going through the pictures, I mean, the 1/6 scale, it almost looks like it's the same pictures for the most part. So you just have the 2 options. I think that's a cool touch for collectors who don't have the space to display. I think the 1/6 and 1/4 thing is kind of cool. The 1/6 scale version stands 12.5 inches tall, a little bit over 14 inches deep, and 15, almost 15.5 inches wide. So this video is brought to you by Ninja Funk. Help save the universe from bad music by picking up a copy from your local comic shop on November 2nd. Check out these amazing variant covers as well. We have 2 from Tyler Kirkham, one of them being a 1/25 ratio. Tony Fleece with the Stray Dogs 1/10, Kevin Eastman with a 1/100, and Boss Logic with the 1/250. Big shout out to JPG from That Spider-Man Booth, Street Level Hero, and now Ninja Funk. My final thoughts on this, man, I love XM Studios. They do some of the most innovative stuff. They tackle characters a lot of other companies won't do, and they do a lot of great things. But I feel like with Superman and this Batman, for the classic version of those characters, I kind of want the definitive version of those characters. And I don't think we got that here, man. Pretty nice statue. I think I like Batman better than Superman, but I don't know, I'm not digging the base. It's nothing to write home about in my opinion, and it's expensive, but again, low ES. Anyway, let me know what you guys think about Batman in the comments down below. As always, I appreciate you watching. Stay minty fresh. Peace.
DJ Links.